Happy Mother's Day. I'm Jack Rogers. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make an OREO MOMOFUKU milk bar cake. This is perfect for Mother's Day because it's pink, and what mother doesn't like Oreos? Let's get started. Before we get into this cake, I want to mention who my inspiration was. So I recently watched the Netflix series Chef's Table, I think it's called, and there's an episode about Christina Tosi, who's the founder of Momofuku Milk Bar, and she created this cake, the Momofuku Milk Bar birthday cake. I really suggest you watch her episode. I'll put the link in the description box down below. I want to put my own twist on this cake, so I made Oreo. I think she might have a cookies and cream, but I did Oreo and I did the hot pink, and then I put some other fun stuff in between the layers. So let's get right into it. First thing I did was I baked 6 pounds of cookies and cream cake. I know, it's new. There's a lot of new things in this video. All I did to do that is I poured 1.5 cups of Oreos and then a tiny drop of black food coloring because it wasn't quite as dark as I wanted it to be. After that was done, I placed them into 2 8-inch round pans and baked those. Once they were complete, I let them chill and then took them out of their pans and leveled the top off. And I cut one of them in half and then the caramelization off the bottom. And then I used a cake ring to cut the caramelization off. I just got it for when I'm assembling this cake, and now I can use it for all my cakes to cut the caramelization off because it's adjustable. For some reason, when I was cutting the second layer, I kind of destroyed one of the halves, so it was a lot thinner. So I ended up just using one of the halves, and that's why it's only 3 layers. Now it is time to prepare my components of this cake. One of my ingredients is crushed Oreos, and all you have to do is take a bunch of the Oreos and place them in the food processor. You might want to take the cream off, but you don't have to because it blends in. I only took the cream out when I was making the cake batter because it was mega stuff, which I didn't even know was a thing. And that has a significant amount of cream to the point where it will affect and you will see all the white. Once that was crushed, I poured that into a bowl, and then I didn't record it because I don't record me baking the cake. But I just took some of the extra creams that I separated and I'm gonna use those in the cake. When you mix this though, it looks like mashed potatoes. So keep it in mind, if I ever have a mashed potato cake, which I'm not planning on, I'm gonna go right to the Oreo creams. When you watch the episode with Christina Tosi, she pours whole milk on the cake because it makes it more moist. And so I did that exactly, and I just have I don't know if it's a soup spoon or if it's something else, but I'm gonna call it a soup spoon, and then I have a little bowl of whole milk. I set that aside, and then I prepared buttercream, and no, I didn't make 2.5 recipes. I didn't coat the outside, so I thought, no, I'm gonna just make 2 recipes, and you only really need 1. I don't know why. I always make way more, which can be annoying because I don't know what to do with it, especially once I diet, which is kind of annoying. All I did was I used about 2 little Wilton bottles of food coloring, and it may seem like a lot, but it's a lot of buttercream, so it's not that bad. To make sure you have the right color pink, you want to take an Oreo and compare the buttercream next to it, and once the contrast is to your liking, you're done. Now it is time to assemble the cake. When you assemble this cake, you want to take your cake ring and make sure it's adjusted to the same size you cut the cake out so it fits perfectly. Place 3 acetate sheets. These were just at my Home Depot. I've never really used acetate other than today. Anyways, once I placed the acetate sheets, I used a bit of tape just to secure it so it wouldn't fall apart when I placed the cake in. I placed this all on a 9-inch or 10-inch, I don't know. I placed this all on a cake board and began layering. So you place your first cake layer, and then you take your little soup spoon and pour a bit of milk. And then here comes the hard part. Place the buttercream in, and then you have to smooth it out. It's so hard because you have to reach your hand all the way down into the acetate hole, and then you keep spreading it out with a spoon, so you really don't need that many cake tools. So this is the perfect cake for you. Remember, full descriptions down there. Anyways, once I did that, I placed some of my crushed Oreos, and there are some big pieces that don't get fully crushed, so all you can do is just eat those. I placed those on top of the buttercream and then took some of my extra creams and placed those sparingly. Once that was done, I repeated this process. Cake, and then and then once I got to the top, I actually put a thinner layer. You want the layers in between to be thick, but for the top you want it to be thinner, and that is higher, so you can use your offset spatula, but you can also use a spoon if you'd like. And then I just placed a ring of Oreos and then some other chunks on top. So I placed that in the fridge. Right, key, this is key. You need to place it in the freezer for, I think, like 7 to 8 minutes and then take it back out. Because if you take that acetate sheet off before, then it's just gonna pull the buttercream with it, and you don't want that. So I just chilled it in the freezer for a couple minutes, took it back out, and then loosened the ring off, and then took the acetate sheets out. This was pretty satisfying. And then I placed it on a black cake stand, and boom, you got a Momofuku cake. This cake was so fun to make. Make sure to check out Christina Tosi's series. It's not sponsored. I wish. Just kidding. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I love making this Momofuku cake. And remember to check out Christina Tosi's series. It's such a cool story. And everything is in the description box down below. So make sure to check that. And follow my Instagram because I'm close to hitting 10K, and that's my goal before I go to camp. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next Sunday.